Hi, Olivia. How you doing? Thank you so much for getting your work submitted. And I just want to kind of address your written rationale a little bit. This is fine. I mean, however you want to set up your promotion, that's perfectly fine. This makes sense. I think this makes sense. It's a nice continuation of white type to the white in the logo. So I think that was a very, very good choice. I don't really think that the type advances too badly in this composition. Actually, I don't think it advances at all. One of the things that tends to happen when you use pure white or pure, well, actually, any fully saturated color over an image tends to advance in the composition. So if this were a beach image, I think that it would advance too much. Right now, I think there's a nice relationship between the type and the um, the image itself. So that's good. I thought that white was a good choice there. Um, Working on the paragraph format, the shaping is a bit wonky. Yes, it is. It's really distorted. I'll talk about that in a second. It's an easy fix. I can't seem to get it legible in the area I want it to be. Also, the yellow rose was cropped. Picture. Yes, you got your masked image from assignment 2-1. That's fantastic. Looks like you wanted to make a more advanced selection, but you know, boy, I mean, it just really points to practice. Now, I know this is an accelerated class, so, we're finishing one technique and quickly moving on to the next. So I completely understand that, you may not feel equipped to make a more advanced selection using a more advanced selection technique, but I would say try it, keep working on it. Why not, right? I mean, different selection techniques are really I mean, selection techniques are basically, I think, one of the cornerstones in all of Photoshop, one of the cornerstone tools, techniques in all of Photoshop. So learning advanced selection techniques is something that's going to happen. It's going to have to happen in your design career. So my take is might as well learn as much as you can while in school, right? So at any rate, just keep working on those other selections and maybe place some other images in here along with this masked image. I think it'd be interesting to have like a kind of a little mini composition up here of masked flowers. I think that would really be interesting. Okay, as far as I am new to these programs, been a very long time, trial and error. Absolutely, that's what it's all about in the learning stage. It's all about spending hours just learning and trying things and seeing how they work, and that's really what digital imaging is about in the learning process. It's just getting in there once you have the basic foundation and just really experimenting. Okay, as far as the ad itself goes, I do have the JPEG up here, and I want to grab that so that we can zoom out just a little bit. And okay, that's exactly what I want right there. Okay, now I talked about the type. So we've got your masked image, we've got your background image, we've got your contact information, and your logo. But the contact information placed above the logo, I just think it's a little bit cumbersome in this area of the ad. What I would recommend doing is taking contact information, following your left margin, and aligning that, and then changing that type to white. That would entail moving this over a little bit, but that's fine. Change that color to white, place that right there. I think that'll really anchor the ad quite nicely, giving it a firm, nice, solid foundation, holding the logo and the contact information in place. This is distorted. This is a distorted text box. Now, I don't know if you set this up to kind of try to wrap around that image, and that's okay if you did. I think it's an interesting technique. That's called type wrap. I'm not real sure exactly if you did it using tools or did it manually. But the issue with this type block here is the fact that it's distorted. It looks like it's been stretched vertically without constraining the horizontal proportions. Typically, this as well, the subhead as well. Headline looks good. Typically what happens is when you place text and you go to resize it in the file, you've got to hold your shift key down. So let's say I draw a text block and I type in there, or I import my type, place it in the text block, right? And then I get out of that and I look at it and I say, okay, I want to change the size of that text block. I come in with my direct selection tool, I click it, right? It shows the bounding box around the type with the little squares in all four corners. Now, to resize that type, you take your cursor, place it over one of those squares, hold your mouse key down and drag it to change the size, right? But you have, in order to constrain the original aspect ratio or the original dimensions, a ratio, of that type box, you have to hold the shift key down when you drag that corner to resize it. That's exactly what's happening here. That's exactly how this got distorted. So when resizing, remember when you select the type box that you want to resize with your direct selection tool, you will hold your shift key down when you grab that corner to resize it. Otherwise, you'll get these distortions. We see here, this is distorted, this is distorted. Okay, my final recommendation has to do with the typography. What I would recommend in the typography is this. Mother's Day special, a left align. I would left align that. And this is fine for your margin right here, left align. And what we'll do is we'll just break the margin with, break that left margin with the contact information. So in other words, it looks like if we use that, maybe you can move that over just a little bit. Okay, but don't necessarily be concerned about aligning the address with that margin. We're going to set that margin for the headline, subhead, and body copy, and then the contact information can extend to the left of that margin. That will be fine. At any rate, so left align the headline. Okay, then left align the subhead. So you've got that alignment going on right there. Then align the left margin of your body copy. So you have just a straight, nice, beautiful left margin going right down the ad. Okay, all right, so those are my recommendations. If you have any questions at all, please let me know, but I would like to see those changes being made. And if you want to go ahead and do those changes and run anything by me, then I'm more than glad to provide additional comments. And most importantly, if you have any questions at all, please let me know and I'll be glad to clarify anything that I've covered in this video. Okay, good start. Thank you very much.